Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Silver Slayer. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome. Before we jump into this critical video, I want to share a new channel membership feature. You should see a join button down around the subscribe button, and this will give you access to the Slayer Elite. We're talking about members-only silver giveaways, custom badges next to your name, so when you comment on my videos, you stand out, an exclusive chat room with other members, and more. Only $4.99 a month, so hope to see you in the club. Now, I'm sick and tired of seeing mainstream media, banks, news outlets downplay silver when they know how much potential it has. Silver is a direct threat to the US dollar because it goes against it. It's its biggest rival, and banks don't want you taking control of your wealth. They want you attached to the dollar and debt, so you're a slave to the system, and they can control you. It's a control move. It's a power move. So anyways, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. Now, this is one of those videos you got to pay attention to. We're going to be covering some extremely important topics that investors need to know. I mean, if you do get caught up in the news, if you do start reading some of these headlines and some of these articles, the ones that are going against silver, the ones that are subliminally giving false information and misleading information about silver, that could steer you in the wrong direction. And that's what they're doing to everyday people. That's why silver is seen as the rebellious metal. I mean, they portray it that way. They're going to say it's a bear market. They're going to look at the price right now, not look at the price that it's headed towards in the future, not going to incorporate anything that's happening in the economy and how that's going to affect silver over the next 3 to 5 years. No, they're just going to say silver's low right now, bad buy. So you got to be careful, and they're going to share a lot of misleading information. They're going to throw stocks in your face, things that are pegged to the dollar, because they don't want you taking control of your own wealth. When you transfer your money out of fiat, out of US dollars into precious metals, you have now taken control of your wealth. You are in complete control of your finances. And they don't like that, right? They like control. So anyways, we got a good video. We got a couple of articles. If we have time, I'll go over another article talking about how the pandemic just uncovered a broken system, right? This pandemic definitely exposed how corrupt, how broke the United States is, and that's very dangerous because the USD is the world's reserve currency, so everyone across the world relies on the dollar's strength, but now everyone sees that the dollar isn't very strong. So precious metals, green across the board except for palladium. Look at this beautiful chart from silver. Gold is pretty similar. They're both up 1%, so let's jump into the video. Gold and silver exchange traded funds, or ETFs, a measure of large investor interest, are experiencing outflows as opposed to an almost interrupted inflow over the last few months. Mining stocks, which either look for or produce these metals, have been moving sideways, testing the metal of the perma bulls. Many investors see these as negative signs, but I view it as Mr. Market's last big effort to shake the tree, causing as many people as possible to fall off the galloping bull and head for cover. So this brings everything almost from like an inverted perspective. It really does. When I was skimming over this article, because you guys know I go through so many articles a day, but I try to give you guys a couple of the best articles, right? Like I have 3 articles I've chosen today, and they're all the best articles that were written today. I went through probably 10, 15 different ones. I'm always giving you guys the most important information. I'm never going to talk about stuff you don't need to know. That's why you got to be subscribed. So anyways, this is definitely going to get interesting, and I hope you guys try to follow along. So let's get into it. As David Morgan has so aptly and during times like this often said, a precious metals bull run, especially that of silver, will either wear you out or scare you out. And that is partially true. I mean, I can agree with that. Silver's a scary investment. I mean, it's so volatile. It's so extreme. It's an emotional roller coaster, and it's a price on a price level. It's a roller coaster ride too. So and that's why you got to have faith. That's why you got to understand silver's true value, though. People that don't understand the true value of silver, that are a little hesitant, that don't have complete faith in it, they're going to be pretty stressed out. And you shouldn't be investing if you don't understand its true value, because when the price is low, that doesn't worry you at all. You're like, okay, I can just get it for cheaper because I know the price is worth way more than that, right? But if you aren't that sure, then when the price goes low, you might start panic selling or impulse buying when the price is doing something else. So these gold and silver ETF outflows should be viewed like an almost parallel universe compared to the continuing robust physical demand for these metals on the part of investors, both large and small. So here's the largest outflow from gold ever. Now you can see 2021 is going to look like, it's going to get interesting. Buy when others are selling, and that's always what I say. When most people are buying, you should be selling. When most people are selling, you should be buying. And I know that sounds crazy, but I'm going to explain why it makes so much sense. Right now, mainstream media stocks, I even covered this several times on my channel over the last couple weeks. Everyone's telling you not to buy silver right now, which is crazy. They will start telling you to buy it once the price starts rising. They're going to tell you to buy silver when it's around $30, $40. Because then there's proof in the pudding that it actually is profitable. But that time, it's too late, right? Buy it right now while it's cheap. Get in before the curve and then sell it when it's $30, $40. When most people are buying it at that price. It makes no sense. Just like Bitcoin, right? No, everyone said Bitcoin was a scam at $1,800 when I bought in. And then once it reached $15,000, everyone's buying it. Coinbase is the #1 downloaded app on Android and iOS. That's when I'm selling it. That's when most people bought it. Most people bought Bitcoin around $15,000 to $18,000. That's when I'm selling it, right? When most people buying, you should be selling. When everyone hears about it, when everyone starts buying, it's too late, right? It's too late. You cannot, if you hear about something and it's already exploded, it's already had that explosive gap, then it's too late to invest. That means it's usually overbought and there's going to be a huge correction. So you're going to buy it at a very high price and then your portfolio is going to be in the red after it corrects back downwards. So I'm pretty sure I just explained what this whole paragraph is going to say. I probably just made it in very easier terms, or a very easier way to understand. But anyways, an anecdote from one of the best trend turn callers in the business. So talking about Bob Morady of 321 Gold has on multiple occasions demonstrated an unerring sense of timing in regard to intermediate turns in the metal, especially silver. Understanding that people who buy and sell them probably have a better finger on the pulse of supply and demand factors than most analysts, he has open order with one dealer saying somebody's going to want to sell something soon, and when they do, call me and I'll be the buyer. And that's kind of what we do right now, right? People, they're very impatient. They don't want to wait 3, 5, 10 years to get their money. They want it right now. Instant gratification. They don't want to wait. They want their money right now. If you're looking at things from that perspective, don't invest in the precious metals. That's definitely the wrong investment. Try Bitcoin, right? I mean, even try stocks. I mean, look at Tesla, what Tesla did, or Amazon, or look at stocks or crypto. Don't look at precious metals, because that's a hedge against inflation. It's kind of like putting your money in a time capsule over time as the dollar declines. So, and this is interesting right here, because look at this part. Silver's eventual trajectory may be similar to Bitcoin. And that is interesting to take note of, because precious metals and crypto are basically in the same ballpark right now. They both go against the dollar. Both people, or both investors in both of these, are taking control of their wealth, right? There's no Bank of Bitcoin. There's no Bitcoin police. Just like when you have silver, you're in complete control. There's obviously many different advantages and disadvantages from Bitcoin, and same for gold and silver. And that's obviously why I've been investing into that, to GSX. It's a gold secured currency. That's what it stands for. It's a cryptocurrency backed by physical gold. It's one of the most revolutionary projects I've ever seen. I've been buying them like hotcakes for 10 cents, and by next year, year two, it's going to be up to $1.50 with the roadmap, and it could be even higher. I mean, once it hits the exchange and people find out about this, it's going to be explosive. So I'm planning on making $100,000, $300,000, $500,000 off this over the next 2 years. I already have about $40,000 worth, and I could sell it right now, honestly, but I'm not going to. And I say I could because they offered to buy it off me right now. They looked at how my video I posted. They contacted me, and they were very I guess happy to see that I'm promoting something that I believe in, and especially since I understand crypto and I understand precious metals, right? It's kind of like I've bridged the gap. Most people invest into Bitcoin or silver. I invested into both. I've been very successful into both, so I can kind of give an understanding, give a perspective of both sides of the coin, no pun intended, which is like the perfect storm. So anyways, this year, and by the way, if you want to check that coin out, links in the description. And it's owned by Apollo FinTech, one of the most respected crypto companies ever. I mean, this is revolutionary with the stuff that they're doing with this. So anyways, this year, Bitcoin rose from its cyclical low around $3,500 to $12,000, and $14,000 where experts expected it to be stopped. But it's already around 20,000 or 19,000. On a smaller scale, silver did something similar when it rose above $20, right? When it breaks through these resistance levels, the sky is the limit. It's almost like people wait to see if it does break above that, and then when it does, people are like, okay, now the floodgates are open. Now the true rally is here. So, and imagine when silver breaks through that $50 resistance, because we saw it in 1980, and then we saw it in 2011. It's stuck at $50. So imagine in the future, once silver breaks past that $50, there's so much resistance at that point that when it breaks through that, it's probably going to shoot up to $100 over the next 2-3 months. I'm not even exaggerating. It's going to be crazy. And it's not going to stay up at $100. It's going to be extremely overbought for the short term, but then it's going to correct probably down to like $65, $75. It's going to stay there, and then it's probably going to go back up to, 90, 100, and over the following months, years, we're going to see $100 silver is going to be the new normal, right? It's going to be the new normal. We'll get desensitized to that high of a price. So anyways, furthermore, he said recently on the COMEX, we're seeing much more silver being pulled off the exchange by the subsection called others. Another eventual similarity now that Bitcoin seems to be ongoing mainstream, it has been announced between PayPal and Square alone, all of Bitcoin mined in 2020 has been spoken for. Thus, anyone else who desires to own even a fraction coin must purchase it from somebody who already owns it. And that's true. The buyers set the price. And that's what I say about silver. When the producers turn into the consumers turn into producers, right? The people like us that own silver right now, we're going to be selling it to the people that need silver. Pretty soon, since silver is so scarce already, when there's going to be a silver shortage, and we already know that that's happening since there's these extremely high premiums on American Eagles, that's scarcity. That's because there's a silver shortage. There's a high demand with a low supply. So as this gets worse and worse, if you want the newest, latest iPhone, you better hope they still buy silver, right? Electric vehicles, 5G towers, solar panels, right? All this stuff needs silver. We want silver. They need it. So when they need it to keep making their products, they'll pay any price because we own it. We have the power. We hold the power. Just like the people that own Bitcoin right now, they hold the power because people are desperate to get it, and the people that own it can set the price. So anyways, they just mentioned, I didn't read this part of the article yet, but they just literally mentioned what I was talking about. Now imagine this scenario for silver. At some point going forwards, investor demand along with a few big industrial users, think EV manufactured electric vehicles, electronic solar panels, decide to lay in large quantities or even buy outright a mining producer as Tesla, looking to do with nickel. What do you think that might happen to silver prices and premiums if all the silver mined globally in a year has been spoken for? That's crazy. That's crazy. I honestly did not read this part of the article yet, not even when I skimmed through it before. I honestly am mind blown that what I was just talking about and comparing it to, which was a pretty broad, insightful perspective, this person just said. I give this person even more credit, because a lot of times on these articles, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn, honestly, these people know a lot more than me most times. I just try to break it down and make it more comprehensible for my audience. But a lot of times I'll find a different perspective or add something in that they don't know because I've invested in a crypto or something along those lines, whatever the topic is. They kind of miss the key points, or miss some other key points that they could have said. But David Smith from Money Metals Exchange, I give you props for that. So, anyways, I guess we don't have time to go into the other video talking about how the pandemic just uncovered a broken system. We also didn't get time to cover how silver ETF surges, industrial metal outperforms. We also didn't get to cover The Alchemist, which is one of the craziest articles, or I guess it's a PDF file of 29 pages of the most incredible information I've ever read about gold and silver. It's amazing. They're talking about Sir Isaac Newton, talking about the gold to silver ratio, what he thought it would be, or it's crazy. It's honestly crazy. I cannot wait to go over this with you guys, but it's such a big video. It's such a big project. I'm going to have to set a lot of time aside and just focus on this, on this video itself. But I'm kind of saving that because there's so much information. So anyways, if you thought this video was educational, informational, at least entertaining, make sure to smash the like button. Subscribe if you're new. Don't subscribe for my sake. Subscribe for your sake. You got to be getting this daily dose of information. You have to. It's so critical. And mainly because there's so many things happening right now. There's so many things happening. You cannot be blindly investing. You can't just buy silver when you want and sell it when you want, not paying attention to what's happening and expect to make money. That's not realistic in today's times. There's too many things going on. The markets are too speculative. The markets are too wishy-washy. You got to be informed, and I will give you the newest, latest information on a daily basis, what the prices are, why the prices are acting that way, and more importantly, what you need to do about it. I got y'all every single day, 2-3 videos a day. So make sure to join the Slayer Elite, $4.99 a month. If you want a chance to access exclusive members-only giveaways, which you'll have a much higher chance of winning, because instead of 34,000 people you're competing against, you'll only be competing against a couple of people, because not many people are probably going to be signed up at that point. So you have a very high chance of winning. So you might want to do that giveaway. It might pay off. The $4.99 a month might pay off, because you guys know my giveaways are pretty generous. So, with that said, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.